What is up guys, welcome to the video. Today I have the top 16 deck lists from the Large London Preliminary, which happened last weekend. And I know I've missed Meta Report this week, but I wanted to get this video out first, and I've been pretty busy recently, so apologies for that. But next week I will be incorporating all the results to do a Meta Report with a roundup of this whole format, basically, because we will be getting the draft box cards in, so I'll be resetting the wheel in time for finals, and hopefully we can get a slightly clearer picture of what you may expect at the European finals in at the end of this month. So Large London Prelim last week, it wasn't too big, it was 51 players, so for the UK at least this makes it the 5th largest best of 3 tournament, and it was a good day. 51 players is not too bad, but yeah, definitely not what you expect from this sort of tournament, but yeah, it is what it is. And anyway, we'll jump straight into the top 16. First up in top 16, starting off with a bit of spice. So this is Adam Barnes's top 16 list. This is the Super Saiyan Gogeta, the promo one from the game, the Heroes game. So it does have, so on the front side, when it attacks a leader card, you draw one card and it gains 5k power. And on the Awakened side, it has native double strike, and also once per turn you can KO one of your opponent's card with 10k or less. So it is very aggro. I did play against one of these on the day. It wasn't this particular deck, but in the list, again, you've got the red stuff. Is that all you've got? After Image, and then you're basically playing around the Intensifying Trunks and Saiyan Cabbers to get that really early aggro plays, and just really bring your opponent down, especially if they're playing something like Brawley, which doesn't like being aggroed because they're taking life every time they swing. Having the early double strikes is actually quite scary with this. So he's also running 4Kai to give him extra double strike, double familial bonds, so he can get value out of something like Digging Deep to help him awaken, because he can swing on the unawakened side, gain the 5k, awaken, and then you keep the 5k and you gain double strike, so it's instantly 20k double strike, and you've already drawn if you're swinging at the leader as well. So yeah, very aggro. He also has the Chain Zeno package in there, I guess to reset the board if things get a little bit too out of hand, although I'm not sure how much he used Chain Zeno. This seems to be a very aggro, very early game sort of deck, but yeah, I guess you do need some sort of contingency plan if your opponent does survive the early storm. And yeah, so the Bardock is in there, 3 Bardocks there for extra aggro as well. Going into the side, we have 1 Black Mask Saiyan, 1 Vegeta making an entrance, 1 Kami, and then these sort of extra negates. 3 Denial of Hope, none main. Again, very aggro deck. I don't think there's too much of a control element in this for TN, because it's TN, 2 Banisher Fu, and 1 Dark through the Dark Banisher. So coming in for Janemba, I guess, something that can resist, but very nice top 16 deck. I think this might see a little bit more play. I think it deserves to see a bit more play. I do like the leader. Having native double strike is just, it's very good, and it's definitely one of the more aggro decks out there at the moment, which might become relevant going into draft box. It is also red, so keep your eye out for this. Next up in top 16 we have Jed Whippy's top 16 Toa list. This is Toa with the skillless package, so you've got the 2 4-star balls and the Son Goku Adventure Begins. Basically you play the Goku and you recycle the 4 stars every turn. Make sure you don't warp them, basically. But yeah, Toa very strong right now. Time Regulator, of course, being the MVP of the deck. He does have one E-Sky in there for, I guess, for the surprise factor. Then we have 2 Trunks Time Regulator to fix the hands, which is a very nice card. Although it seems to be a bit of a flex spot for the players at the moment. 3 Dark Absorption Mirror, which I would expect to go up after the draft box comes out, because that is your out to the Vegeta. 4 Relentless Destruction, 3 Time Ruler, 4 of the 5 drop, 2 of the 5 drop Master Saiyan, 3 Dimensional Banshifu, and 4 Mirror. So generally quite sort of standard skillless list. He's not playing the Super Saiyan Trunks in the main. He has 3-sided, which I'm not sure if that is worth it. You could play them in the main to give yourself a bit more aggro, but yeah, for me personally, I don't know if having them sided is that beneficial. Again, 3 Vegeta making an entrance in there, 3 Dark Power Black Master Saiyan, 2 Kami, 3 Force Ejection, and another Master Saiyan. Next top 16 list, this is Jack Witcher's Brawley U6. Again, sort of the slightly more favoured U6 list now with the Kale engine in there. 4 Timid Sister, which I think 4 might be a bit much, but yeah, I guess that's down to preference. 4 Timid Sister, he's got 4 Bold Sister in there as well. 4 Khalifa Troublemaker. 3 Cabba as well, which is an interesting choice. This list actually it doesn't seem to be running the Gohans and only 2 Champers, so a bit less control, a bit more aggro, as evidenced by the Cabba in there, and 2 Cooler as well. So I think very much playing on early pressure on your opponent, and then you basically mirror Cooler them, but yeah, Cabba in there is definitely an interesting choice. He's going all out with the 4 Kales as well. 2 Brilliant Kefla, 4 Champ Vardos, 4 Khalifa, and 2 Mirror. In the side deck, 2 Dark Power Black Master Saiyan, 2 Nimbus. He's got 3 Tau, 2 Mafuba, which is I think it's quite a good card right now actually. Mafuba definitely stops a lot of the threats, which might be problematic if they stayed on the board. 2 Frost and 2 TN. So yeah, this is something a bit different from what you normally see with Brawley, and more of an aggro version. So if you want that, then you can look into this list. Next up, this is Hayden Wright with also another Brawley U6. This is slightly more standard. 3 Timid Sister, 3 Senzu, that's not standard, but Senzu is, I wouldn't drop it down from 4 personally, because it helps you extend plays, but yeah, he's playing 3 here. 4 Khalifa, 2 Nimbus, 1 Bloodlust, 2 Goku Black, which I actually think, I've come to think it's a very good card in this deck, especially as it does leave your stuff open for Gohan and Jumper. 4 Beerus, 3 Troublemaker, Super Combo. You've got 3 Gohan in here, 2 Chumper, 4 Chumper the Trickster, 3 Kale, 2 Brilliant Pairing, 4 Chumper Vardos, 4 Khalifa, and 2 Mira. No Cooler in here. Personally, from playing Cooler, I didn't feel like it was super needed. It felt a little bit too slow, and most of the time you could just get your opponent down to safely mirror them anyway, or maybe they're tapped out. So yeah, Goku Black at 2 is I'm not sure if it's worth it at 2, because I'm not sure if you see it enough. It is very good early game, and later on it does start to fall down slightly in its effectiveness, but nonetheless I think because of the space required in this deck, 2 might be all he could fit in, which is fair enough. In the side, 2 Black Marseillan, 2 Betrayal of the Master, which is interesting choice, but pretty good removal. 2 Time Magic, 2 Haru Haru, 2 Frost, 3 Tien, and 2 Fu the Dark Banisher. And next up we have another Brawley U6, top 16. This is Fabrizio Ranieri. I did play around with this list actually after this tournament. 3 Kale, 3 Sensebean, again 3 Sensebean I'm not too sure on. 4 Khalifa, 1 Bloodlust, 4 Goku Black, which I think, if you're playing Goku Black, I personally think it's a 4 or 0 in this deck. 4 Beerus, 3 Khalifa the Troublemaker, 4 Super Combos, 3 Gohan, 2 Champa, 1 Cooler, 3 Champa the Trickster, 2 Kale Awakened Sister, 3 Brilliant Pairing Kefla. I guess that, again, that's preference, 2 or 3 of that. 4 Champa Vardos, 4 Khalifa, 1 Fu, and 1 Mira. I personally didn't like this. I did play, as I said, I did play a few games with this list afterwards. I felt like I understand why he wants the Fu and the Mira in there, as it gives him more flexibility in terms of matchups, but I just felt Mira is just a superior card in this particular deck. And I did see Fu a few times, and I thought if this was Mira, I would have won. So yeah, no, but I do understand the reasoning there, or the potential reasoning. In the sideboard, 2 Dark Power Black Marseillan, 2 Nubis, 1 Tau, 1 Mifuba, 2 the Son Goku in close combat, the one that kills Path of Greatness basically. 2 Frost, this is the one that either goes against Janemba or Ramp, because it helps you put cards back into your deck, or it helps you spin cards from your opponent's drop. 2 Force Ejection, 2 Tien, and 1 Marseillan. Next up we have Uma and his Janemba list. So this is Tricolor Janemba. This is pretty much just what they played in the States. I think down to the card actually. 4 Dimension Magic for Bean. Even got the Urgent Aid Kami in there. Yeah, I think this is pretty similar to Daehan's list. Yeah, we sort of know what this does. Mill 2 and then just stop your opponent from playing. He didn't have a sideboard actually, and he made top 16, so it is a very strong deck. And yeah, congratulations to all of these guys. And the last top 16, this is Azim Lone with Pronga Ramp, or Pronga Gogeta, whatever you really want to call it. 5 Bulls, 1 1-star, and a Super Dragon Ball as well. 2 Xenobutton. This really helps. It lets you tap out, and then it lets you defend basically. And I think it's very effective in this deck, especially when you're up against something really aggro. Unexpected Discern, again that's help against aggro as well. 3 Radar, 1 Weskai, which is very good against U6 because you can just bounce their Khalifas or the Kales that they're comboing to try and evolve, and they wouldn't be able to do that, so they, in a sense, they waste an attack, which is sort of a resource for U6 decks. 4 Whis, 4 Bean, 4 Super Combo, 4 Objection, 1 Pronga, 2 Shenron, 4 World Peace, 3 Whis, 2 5-drop Gogeta, 2 of the SS2 Trunks, 2 Gogeta Hero Revived, 1 Beerus, which is really good in this particular deck as an alternative to Victory Strike, which he also has in here. Again, so you basically go World Peace in Gogeta, World Peace in Kaioken, you rip their hand, and then you Pronga Ultimate into the Beerus, you swing, and they have, if they can't discard, then their board just gets wiped. So yeah, that's effective, that works. And yeah, congratulations to the top 16. Moving into top 8, we have Joe Dunthorne. Actually, no, sorry. Joe's still top 16. This is still top 16. Joe Dunthorne with Tricolour Janemba. A little bit different to the one we saw previously. He is playing one of the Kai, which helps against aggro, and it's just good in general. I think as it draws you a card, and then you can cover it off as well. So it has good utility and is really good defensively. For time, Dimension Magic, 4 Sensor Bean, 4 Super Combo, 1 Unyielding Spirit Trunks, 4 Beerus, 3 Gohan, 3 Frost, 4 Vegeta, 2 Godstrike Beerus, which is quite a high count, but I guess in a defensive deck, yeah, Beerus would be really good to have there, especially if you've already used your leader auto to negate, and your opponent sort of shotguns their hand into the kill, and you Godstrike them, then yeah, very, very good. Although you do need to leave 2 up, so pros and minuses there. He did choose to run 2, and Joe is a very, very good player. He did win one of the LPG tournaments with Janemba. He's been playing Janemba for a very long time. So yeah, check out his deck profile before. He's just a really top player. Very sort of underrated or underrepresented in what he's played in so far. 4 Bojack, 3 Champ the Trickster, 2 Reality Bender, 3 OD, 4 Bojack, and 4 Cell. Sideboard, he's got another 2 Kai in here, which is, I guess, for the aggro matchups. We have Vegeta making an entrance, 3 Awakening Talent Pan, for when you do need to hit people if you want to awaken, or if you need to be a bit more aggro against something potentially like yellow Brawley or green Brawley, where it is possible to just actually outright kill them. 3 Champer, 3 Champers in the main. We have 2 Father Son Kamehameha for removal and things such as, I guess, Baby. 3 Nimbus and 1 Demon Sword just for general removal, which I think is very important for this deck because there's not too much removal in the main board. You do have Vegeta the Cruel, but for anything big, you're going to struggle to deal with it, and Demon Sword is a very consistent out for you. So yeah, those were the top 16. Into top 8 we have another Janemba list. This is from Ian Dickinson. Yep, so 4 Dimension Magic, 4 Sensor Bean, pretty much similar to what we've seen before. He is maining 2 of the Sun Goten Family of Justice, which I think it's a good card against something like Toa. So you can swing with your leader, combo this, and just kill off their Vegeta, which stops them from getting the advantage. Otherwise, there's not too many things you can remove it with if they've already established. You could bounce it back with Gohan or Vegeta, but yeah, just having that extra bit of removal on your turn without relying on a counterplay, without relying on them playing something, then it's good to have that in there. Other than that, it's pretty standard. He's got 2 Barlocks in there as well, extra draw power and potentially extra aggro. He did have a sideboard, but unfortunately it was on the back of his deck list and I didn't get a picture of that. So if Ian, if you are watching, if you could let us know what your sideboard was, that would be amazing. Next up in top 8, this is Tommy Crane with another Janemba list. We have it is a bit different actually. Tricolour Janemba, slightly different from what we've seen. He is playing all too easy, and yeah, I think it's a good card. Definitely very flexible. Just extra 2 negates, 4 Dimension Magic, for Sensor Bean. He's playing Mai for some reason, but yeah, super combo is a super combo. Only 3 Beerus. I guess there's not too many dual colours for you to charge. You do have Frost, that you do have Bojack there, but I guess space was an issue. He's opted for Trunks Time Regulator instead of something like Bardock. But yeah, other than that, there's not too many things that are different. So it's all too easy, and Trunks, which are his choices. He is playing the God Strike, but only at 1, and yep, 3 AOD and 2 Reality Bender. In the side, again, 3 Vegeta making an entrance, perhaps for the mirror matches, but just a general good utility card right now. 2 Father Son Kamehameha, 2 Son Goten Family of Justice, 3 Sneak Attack Vegeta. I'm not a fan of this card. Sneak Attack I thought was going to be good in the Janemba mirror, but actually it doesn't really do much. Generally, hand control is good against Janemba, but I don't feel like this card actually achieves what you hope it will. 3 Raging Spirit Son Gohan, which is actually, I think this is a very underrated pick. All of these sorts of cards, your free hands or whatever you want to call them, for against the counterplay decks, it's really good. It's just extra pressure as well, so I think that's actually a good pick. And 2 Source of Power as his choice of Self Awakening over something like Awakening Talent Pan. I guess Source of Power is potentially a bit more aggro, and yeah, although you might not have the you only need 1 yellow actually, so yeah, it's fine. It does cost 3. Pan is cheaper, but Source of Power it gives a bit more punch, and you can, if you pair it up with a Champa or something, it could win a couple of games for you. So next up we have Andrew Bailey in top 8. This is a Clash of Fates Goku. So very interesting deck. He did very well with this. I think this is it's a surprising deck because it's good, but I feel like it's also it has quite a low ceiling to it in the current format, but I'm very pleased that he has done so well with this deck. 1 Feet Kamehameha, 2 Paragus for Krillin, 1 for the Greater Good, so this is the sort of all too easy for green. 4 Shock and Death Ball, 3 Preemptive Strike, 4 Defensive Stance Piccolo. Choosing this over Paragus because yeah, I think it's just it's a different type of playstyle. With Paragus, you don't particularly you have to be at 4 or less. With this, I believe defensive stance is sparking. I'll need to check, but you don't want to go to too low life with this deck because you want to be able to Kaioken your opponent, which is your main win con. You've got 4 Demonic Origin Brawley, 3 SSG Vegeta. It's a very good card. It will be a 1 cost if you have a multicolor in your energy, and you can just clear out the board if you're against Kid Ku or actually more likely Toa playing that engine right now. 4 Vegeta the Cruel, 4 Max Speed. Again, these 2 cards in tandem with each other are very strong and can clear a lot of different types of threats that your opponent puts on the board, or just sort of stop their setup for a larger play. 3 of the 4 drop Krillin, 4 Final Showdown Goku, 4 Gogeta. The Arrival for Kaioken. Again, as I mentioned, this is the main win con for the deck, having getting to 5 and then having enough in the drop to make it 5, and yeah, just winning with Kaioken because Kaioken is a really strong card. And 1 Brawley Secret Rare, which I would assume is the alternate win con, or just depending on matchup. This might be a better play. In the sideboard, 2 Kai, 3 Urgent Aid Kami, 3 Toa the Dimension Leaper, 2 Tau, 2 of the Path to Greatness Killer, and 3 Forced Ejection. Next up in top 8 we have Jamie Wolfe with another tricolour Janembalist. Yeah, I think we've seen quite a few of these. Just notably, he has the Trunks in there, which some of them didn't play. Trunks is, I guess it's good if you've counterplayed. Actually, no, I know you counterplay on your opponent's turn. If you played something that turn, if you needed to cast something, maybe a Reality Bender to get some mills, or maybe if you've had to hardcast Champer to get rid of a threat, to rest something, for example, having the Trunks to have the extra energy, which is decent. Or again, the Goten, if you've actually just used the Goten to remove something, you can untap again with the Trunks. 3 Unyielding, 2 Frost for Vegeta. Pretty standard stuff. You guys sort of know what Janemba does by now. In his sideboard, he's got Awakening Talent Pan as his Self-Awakener, 2 Nimbus, more negates and protection, 2 Trunks, Power Overseeing Time. This gives him great toolbox utility for anything that he's already used. So if he wants to grab another Vegeta the Cruel, for example, because you know what your opponent is likely to do next turn, then you can prepare for that by playing Trunks and just grabbing something that you've already used. So Trunks is very, very nice in that respect, and also in the mirror as well. Having a double striker that doesn't draw you any cards, and also you can recycle Janembas that way as well, which is really nice. And 2 Demon Sword in the side as well. So those were the top 8, and I believe it was a 2-day event, so I think they did. Yeah, it was a 2-day event, and they played up to top 16. So we played the rounds for top 16, and then a few of the guys who made it into top 8 had to leave. I think 3 of them. I think it was Jamie, Tommy, and Ian had to leave, unfortunately. So they didn't get to play the top 8 match. But yeah, maybe they would have progressed. I think all 3 of them were Janembas. So Jamie, Tommy, and Ian, yeah, all 3 Janembas. They didn't get to play. Andrew Bailey did play his, I believe. Yeah, so I think it was the Janembas who didn't get to play and didn't get to progress into top 4. Maybe we would have seen some more Janembas. We don't know. Moving into top 4, this is Corey Bentley. He actually came 4th. I think they played for 3rd. I'm not too sure because I wasn't there on the day, but they did have a 3rd place, so I assume there was some sort of ranking decided. This is another Purunga in 4th place, and yeah, he's playing 5 Dragon Balls, 1 Star and 1 Super Dragon Ball, 2 Xena buttons, 1 Unexpected Turn, 2 Radar, and 2 Kai. I think this is pretty similar to the one we saw before, to Azim's deck, although Azim was playing 1 Kai and 3 Radar. I think that is the only difference. Yeah, so 1 Purunga, 2 Shenron, and 3 Whis. Just gonna quickly hop back to Azim's list. Yeah, pretty much the same. Yeah, main deck is the same, apart from the Kai and Radar difference there. In the sideboard, 3 Dangerous Journey Bulma, 2 of the Kai, I don't know what the name is. 2 the Supreme Kai of Time, right? But anyway, yeah, the counterplay. 2 Kami, 2 Toa Dimension Leaper, 2 Tau, 2 Haru, and 2 Tien. So pretty much toolboxy side against anything that you may struggle with. Has everything covered really. I think the Toa Revenge Blocker is very good, and yeah, just pretty much everything is covered for in this. Congratulations to Corey for getting 4th place with this. In third place, we have Niall Coulson. Again, he's been very successful in his play, especially in the southern tournaments, in the LPG circuits. Niall played Toa in this. He is playing the Kid Goku, 3 Kid Gokus and the 2 4-stars. Unlike Jed, who we saw previously in top 16, there is no trunks in here, so none of the vanillas. He's just decided not to play it. 4 Power Burst, 2 Toa Space-Time Unleashed, so this is just a 1-drop which grabs a mirror or a Saiyan, which is, I think it's a good card. You look at top 7 and you grab something, so this in conjunction with the leader really sets up your hand, lets you plan your next few turns, and also deck thins potentially as well. Vegeta Time Regulator, 4 of course, 4 Super Combo, 3 Trunks Time Regulator. Again, this is a good card to fix your hand, as it lets you dump the 7-drop mirrors back, so you can have targets to Union absorb. 3 Dark Absorption Mirror, 4 Relentless Destruction, 3 Time Ruler, 2 Umbral Invitation, 2 Power Overseeing Time in the main. Again, this is toolboxy, so and it's a inherent double strike as well, so it's a good card. Main board, I'm not too sure, but I'm in no way, shape or form very well versed in Toa. 4 of the 5-drop, 2 of the 5-drop Marseillans, 3 Dimensional Banisher Fu, 4 Mirror Creator Absorbed, and 1 Demigra. Presumably the Demigra is just there for Janemba, because Toa seems to struggle a bit against Tricolor, and the Demigra basically locks out the match for them, and you play the Demigra, you win basically against Janemba. So it's really good, really strong main board, I think, and it's probably won him a lot of games against Janemba as well. Sideboard, we have 2 Kai, 3 Vegeta making an entrance, 3 Black Saiyan, 3 Tau, and 4 Forced Ejection. Very focused. You want something against hand control, you want something against the mirror, against aggro, and then against ramp as well. So very focused, very good, very strong and solid build. In second place, Matt Pritchard with another Pronga list. This is, I think, slightly, I want to say it's slightly different, but actually no, it's just the same as before, I think. Yeah, so pretty much the same as Corey's and Azim's, although Matt here has 2 Jacko instead of the Kai, and also he's got Goku Oob in here instead of Victory Strike. Goku Oob is very strong as well because it just basically just deals damage even if it's negated. So kind of know what Pronga does. It's extremely solid. Big congratulations to Matt for coming in second. In a sideboard, let's look at a sideboard. 3 Dangerous Journey, 2 Kai, 1 Unexpected Turn, 1 Radar. So he's maining 2 and siding 1. 2 Power Burst, 2 of the Revenge Block Toa, 1 Striving to be the best, I guess, against just against a bit more aggro decks. 1 Mafuba. Mafuba again, not too sure what it would be against. Maybe the mirror, so you can stop them, but presumably that would get ripped out of your hand anyway. But Mafuba has general utility. 1 more Pronga in the side, and 1 Fu, which would be against something like Jinnen, but actually anything really, because you can ramp up. And the Fu does deal a lot of damage to certain decks, so yes, it's nice. I do like the main and side. Apart from Jacko, I would probably not play Jacko. I would play the Kai just because it's a 1-drop, if you do need the extra swing for whatever reason, you can play that. Although Jacko, the 16 power is kind of relevant. I think in one of the previous formats I have won a game with Jacko because 16k is surprisingly large, actually. So yeah, congratulations to Matt. And in first place we have Silk with his new and improved baby list. I'm not sure how much sort of testing and prep he did for this event. I think he did do a fair amount, actually. We were sort of talking about how he could progress this list, and in I think it was Russell Stelzer, he was playing against Baby, and at one of the last events, I forgot which one it was, in the States, and he mentioned his opponent had the familial bonds into digging deep and then grabbing the 4 stars. Yeah, so I think Silk managed to incorporate that into his list. He's taken out the Gogeta chain, which he was playing previously in last format. I think having access to bonds and digging deep just makes your play into Baby a lot earlier, and you get the aggro as well. So yeah, that's running through the list. 2 4 stars, 2 strategies, because you want to give, once you've established the big baby, you want to give it barrier so it doesn't get removed by something like Fu. Then we have 2 Raditz the Oppressor. Pretty much sort of your Borgos deck, your Borgos to the red, so good utility guard there. 2 is that all you've got in 2 after image, so not too many negates and minuses here. I guess your once you establish your 6-drop baby, that is negging your opponent anyway, and it gives you a lot of aggro because it's a big body with triple strike as well. 4 of the 1-drop baby, this is the main thing that you want to see in the deck. I think a lot of the reason why people have trouble playing this deck is the consistency, but Silk just gets the he gets the draws. He has the cards. I don't know if it's his ratios, and maybe his ratios are perfect, or maybe he just has the heart of the cards for this deck. I don't know what it is. Every time I see him play, he either has everything, or if he doesn't have it, he'll just draw into it when he needs it. But he did brick one game in Swiss. I think it was in the last round of Swiss. It bricked for him, and we were just saying, yeah, it has a brick at some point, but other than that, it served him well, and he won the event. So clearly, it worked for him again. 3 dependable Mon Bulma, just extra draw power, and it's a good card because it's pseudo negate, I would call it, because it draws out attacks, because your opponent doesn't really want to leave it on the field, because then you're going to get advantage every single turn. So you swing into it, but then you've sort of committed a swing into that, and you're not swinging into the leader. 3 Denial of Hope. I think we did briefly discuss how many he should play here. 3 is the number that he's settled on. Yeah, it's not too important because you have the baby, so you don't really want to play 4, and you just want to have more combat power in your hands as well, potentially. 4 familiar bonds, this becomes very critical for the deck, because you want to be able to drop your digging deep early, and then you play bonds. You bring the digging deep, grab 4 stars, you swing twice with it, and then it lets you awaken, and you can go into the big baby. So very, very, very important in this particular build. 4 Bulmers, perhaps he should play the Goten, but I think I should have put the EP 4 Bulmers in here, because I know he has a set of the EP 4s. 2 Impeccable Saiyan Kaba. I would think this might be a alternate win con. It is, I think it's a very good card, this format, because it can't be countered. It's not it's not that the attack can't be negated or anything like that. You can't play counters against this card, against the attack of this card. So you can't even Mafuba it or anything like that. You can't after image it. So your opponent's going to have to combo whatever you put into this attack. And then we have Fording Deep, as I explained. It's the combo for with the 1-drop. 2 Feathers Pan. Again, I think giving just the extra, the alternate Wincon, this and the Cabba would make it a 20k double strike that cannot be countered. 2 Bardock as the choice of Overwhelm for extra draw power. 4-drop Baby, and then you've got the rest of the baby chain here. So yeah, again, Baby is, I think, depending on the format, is very strong. Silk absolutely loves this deck. The baby goat caused a bit of a stir there with with my post, but yeah, congratulations to Silk. Looking at the sideboard, 2 Dark Power Marseille, 2 Final Guardian, the 3rd After Image, 2 Dabura the Insurmountable. I think this is a really strong card and able to lock down a few decks. I'm not sure how this was for him actually on the day, but yeah, he's got a deck profile on Crossworlds TCG, so if you want to check that out, then you can check out his explanations to the card choices. 3 Elder Village Guardian. Again, this is the we saw Frost earlier. I think it was in Fabrizio's Brawley U6. Again, this lets you play against Janemba and also against Pronga or Shenron ramp. 3 TN, 1 Food the Dark Banisher, probably against Janemba again, and 1 Freezer Army Reborn, which yeah, alternate Wincon. You don't always get the big baby out, or if your opponent has an out to it, if you can't set up strategies, then having Freezer can just having a board clear and then quad strike could potentially let you just win the game off that. So congratulations to Silk. Again, Silk's always been a great supporter of the channel, and his videos have always done very well on the channel as well, from Euros to Frankfurt. Congratulations on finally getting your win and moving beyond top 8. So yeah, those were the top 16 lists. If you guys do want to get any deck profiles for any of the specific lists, then I would be more than happy to contact the players and arrange something. But yeah, this is sort of the end of the format now, so it might not be too useful for everyone. But yeah, just wanted to get this out there before I wrap up with the last meta report. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. If you've stuck around for the 43 minutes now, yeah, been sat here for a while, so thank you very much for watching. If you stay here, then you are the MVP. Leave your comments below. What list did you like? What list did you not like? Potentially anything that you would change. Let me know what cards you're excited for in Draft Box 4 and what decks you will be playing for Euros, because more information is always good. So again, leave a like, remember to sub for more content, and I will see you guys next time.